Received comments on the intention of the Board of Commissioners to sell general obligation capital improvement bonds in amount not to exceed $325 million. The bonds will be issued as part of the bond sale in the capital markets. The general obligation capital improvement bonds will fund the following and current capital projects. The McCook Reservoir Vulcan Agreement hard cost, 150 dry ton per day biosolids processing facility at the Stickney Water Reclamation.
Okay, so as you can see, we are in the back corner.
The 39th Street Conduit
This is the small
Rehabilitation,
area.
Phase 2 in this Stickney Service Area.
We were just approached by an officer who told us that we had to be in the corner if we wanted to take any media, and we're basically already in the corner.
Mechanical mixers at the Stickney Water Reclamation Plant. There are many others on the list that we will enter into the public record, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dr. O'Connor. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Dr. O'Connor? All right, thank you. We appreciate your quick update. Are there any comments from the public about the hearing? Are there any comments from the public about the hearing? Okay, seeing that there are no requests for public comment concerning the hearing, motion to adjourn, moved by Vice President Flynn, second by Commissioner Brown. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brady-Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis. Vice President Flynn. Chairman Garcia. Commissioner Bogoshelsky.
Yes.
Commissioner Peralta.
I would like to show you the whole room, but they won't let us video, which is ridiculous.
So ordered, the public hearing is adjourned. Motion to recess and convene as a committee of the whole, moved by Vice President Flynn, second by Commissioner Brown. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, so ordered. The committee of the whole meeting will come to order. Before we move into the consent agenda, we'll go into a public comments for the regular board meeting. And then after the public comments, we'll move into the consent agenda. If you have not already filled out a yellow card and you would like to make a public comment, please fill out that yellow card right now, and Jennifer will make sure that I receive that card, and you will have 3 minutes to address the board. Let's start with Speaker Jamie Neely. Jamie Neely, can you please step to the microphone at the back of the room? Clearly state your name and spell your name. State your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you, President. My name is Jamie Neely, J-A-E-M-I-E. Last name is Nancy, E-E-L-Y. With the Federation of Women Contractors. Good morning. As I mentioned, my name is Jamie Neely. I am a Governor Pritzker appointee to chair the Illinois Procurement Policy Board, and as I stand before you all today, I serve as the Executive Director of the Federation of Women Contractors. I am honored to accept the resolution on behalf of the Federation of Women Contractors as we celebrate 35 years of advocacy for women in construction. Over the past 3.5 decades, we have witnessed remarkable progress for equity in contracting, much of which has been established through the partnerships that we've built, much like with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. The MWRD has not only been a steadfast supporter, but also a leader in championing diversity and equity in contracting. Your commitment to creating a level playing field, ensuring that women and minority-owned businesses have the opportunities to thrive and truly transform our industry. Your efforts have opened doors, have provided critical opportunities, and have promoted a climate where businesses like those represented by the FWC can compete and succeed. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the Board of Commissioners, the MWRD's leadership and the dedicated staff who all played a pivotal role in this journey. Your support, advocacy, and reliability on things like on-time payments have been critical to our shared objectives. We look forward to another 35 years of progress with the MWRD as a true partner and advocate. And in a time like this, when the call for equity is louder and more urgent than ever, we must continue to push for even greater diversity and greater inclusion. The work is far from over. I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to recognize the Honorable Vice President McGowan, who is right there with us fighting the fight over the many years. Her dedication and leadership has been inspiration for all of us and selfishly a model for me to learn from. I want to thank you all, the MWRD again, for this recognition, and here's to a future filled with the continued partnership, progress, and success for women in construction. Thank you all.
Ms. Neely, we appreciate your support and you attending our meeting this morning. Our next public speaker is Kevin Coburn. If you can please step to the microphone and clearly state your name and spell your name. State your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Coburn, K-E-V-I-N-C-O-B-U-R-N, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for In Situ Form Technologies. I'd like to call your attention to agenda item 47, which is the award of the 39th Street Conduit Project. 6 weeks ago, this agenda item was deferred, and 4 weeks ago, it was deleted. Today, this item is back again before you, and so am I. In Situ Form was the low bidder on this project by $2.2 million, but the agenda item today is to award the project to Michaels, and I'd like to suggest 3 benefits for rebidding this project. Rebidding will allow the district to receive bids without issues. We acknowledge that our bid had issues, and would also suggest that Michaels' bid had significant issues. Since neither Michaels nor In Situ Form achieved the 12% utilization goal, a rebid will emphasize the importance of meeting the MBE/WBE requirements in the future. Additionally, Michaels could submit a bid with their correct unit prices. As you might know, their bid contained at least 5 line items where they mistakenly listed the total price as the unit price. Of course, federal municipal law dictates that anytime there's a discrepancy between the unit price and the total price, the unit price is what governs. And while it might be argued that this deemed Michaels' bid non-responsive, the workaround for these errors was to not award those line items. It's noteworthy that this award also includes a $2 million allowance for change orders, which I believe is unusual, which theoretically could be used to pay for the exact bid items that weren't awarded due to contract error. These are common construction items like debris removal, concrete repair, and grouting, which will likely arise during construction and could present a challenge to establish a new price when one was already established during the bid process. The second benefit would be to lower bid prices. In our industry, rebids lead to the same or lower bid prices. Once the low bid is established, other bidders will aim to undercut it, and the low bidder is aware of this and will often respond by cutting costs to stay competitive. And the third benefit is more bidders. Some contractors may have refrained from submitting a bid because they believe the project was significantly over budget and unlikely to be awarded. Now that funding is confirmed, it's likely that new bidders will step forward. Thanks for your consideration in this matter.
Thank you, and we appreciate you participating in our board meeting. Our next speaker will be Lanora Poole. Lenora Poole, if you can please step to the microphone, clearly state your name and spell your name. State your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Hello and welcome.
Hi, my name is Lanora Poole, Lanora, and I am a resident of Harvey. Good morning, all. I am Lenora Poole, a resident of 15307 Myrtle, Harvey, the location of the retention project. Ms. Steele, you made a statement that the families who are being relocated are positive and not complaining, as well as there is a family that you are still negotiating and as of yesterday were not unhappy. I am here informing everyone that works for MWRD and that are listening that we are the family that you speak of. Since day one, we have expressed our unhappiness about what is going on. Not the fact that you are doing the project, but the fact that you cannot find a better place to put this project that would not displace any residents, especially senior citizens who have built the community. In the summer of 2023, my sister, daughter, and I came here and expressed our feelings of the project and how we were not happy. We continue to express our unhappiness throughout several meetings we have had at the City of Harvey with Mayor Clark. The block you are taking is majority senior citizens, and after a while, they stop fighting due to things being said that there is no hope and you are moving this project elsewhere. I am here with my 89-year-old father, so you can hear from him how unhappy he is in his thoughts. My parents worked hard to build their home in Harvey and make sure their block was nice. My sister and I grew up in a home of love, watching our parents teach us about hard work and dedication. My parents were the second black family to move there in the 70s, and now my father is the longest living resident there. I want everyone to take a minute and put yourself in his shoes. Being an 89-year-old man working hard to build a home for over 50 plus years, and then in November 2021, losing your son, and 7 months later, May 2022, losing the love of your life. The person you have been with for 50 plus years building this home with, to then turn around and hear in a meeting July 15, 2023, that you will lose your forever home that you worked many years and built to maintain and keep. Not just one, but two, to own 2 homes on that block. How would you feel? You would not be happy, especially to hear that what you have built, people want to take and give you barely nothing for your home. Homes that stand on large amounts of land. My father is 89 years old, and I pray he lives to see 100, but that's not up to me, but God. I want whatever days my father has on this earth to be his happy years with everything that he faced these past 2. If it were you, if it was your parents, would you want Harvey who get up, work hard every day to maintain and build a home, even though they may face things every day? Our home has always been our safe place for us. I know you think because we live in Harvey, we live in slum and the ghetto, but that has never been the case in our home. I know the mayor of Harvey has given you all this narrative about Harvey, but the majority of the residents are hardworking families trying to build and keep a community alive. On May 4th, with the help of Robin Kelly, we met with Mayor Clark to try to save our home. And for him, at least, to show us the documentation, this will be the best location. We met with intimidation to have to show our IDs and wait long periods of time, and as if we were not citizens of Harvey, and as if his people did not reach out to us to have the meeting, as well as with the small violin that was displayed on his desk. For those who do not know what that means, that is an expression that describes the mockery of misfortune. He has never showed us sympathy or empathy of anything that we have been going through since we've been going through this.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lanora Poole, for attending our meeting and for speaking about this subject.
Wonderful job.
I can't just let this go and not. I have to make a quick statement and then we'll go through the other speakers. But Lanora Poole, I will say that maybe there is different information being passed around. From my understanding, negotiations are ongoing with your family, and our relocation specialist is communicating with you. I want you to know that me and the Board of Commissioners, we want you to be whole or better than whole. We want to see you happy as well. We do not wish any unhappiness on you and your family. Also, you made a comment that seems like you might think we think less of the city of Harvey, and that is so far from the truth. You made a comment about the slums and the ghetto or something like that.
Yes.
We don't think less of Harvey. We want the best for Harvey. That is why when Harvey reached out to us about the stormwater management project, and we know you have flooding issues in the city. That is why we answered their call to help them with the stormwater management project and view the stormwater management project as a form of environmental justice, because citizens of Harvey deserve protection from flooding as well. So we do not think less of Harvey. We definitely want your family and all of the families in Harvey to be happy. And we can definitely communicate more about this after the meeting, definitely. And we'll be talking to the relocation specialist, which we have spoke to every week since we realized there were a group of people in Harvey that did not support the project. But from our understanding, the mayor of Harvey, your city council in Harvey, everyone asked for the they asked for the project, they voted on the project, and they asked us to assist them with the stormwater management project. And this is just me laying out what happened. So we'll move on to the next speaker right now. Our next speaker is Joe Poole. Joe Poole, can you please step to the microphone? Clearly state your name and spell your name.
Go ahead, you go up with
State your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board, and we welcome you.
My name is Joe Poole, P-O-O-L-D, Poole. I'm one of the oldest ones in that block there, and I have never had any water problems since I've been living in them 2 houses. I don't know about my neighbors. I can't speak for nobody but myself, but I have never had water problems. All the rain we have got. My problem
Tell him, Joe.
is moving at my age, and it's rough, and I'm probably the oldest one in this room, and I don't have too much to say about that, but y'all worked really hard for that.
Tell
Kept
him,
it up.
Mr.
Still
Poole,
keeps it up.
Tell him.
And it's kind of rough at my age. And I'd like to see someone in the room at my age, see what it's like to go through something like this. It ain't no laugh and joy, no amount of money, can help. I lost my wife, my son,
Come on, tell
and
him.
now look like I'm gonna lose my home. My kids will grow up here. And it's really rough. And that's it. I thank you for letting me have the opportunity to speak to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole, and we appreciate you stopping by and participating in today's meeting. Thank you.
Wonderful job. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Sharon McGee.
Very proud of you,
Sharon McGee, if you can please step to the microphone, clearly state your name and spell your name, state your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Good morning, my name is Sharon McGee,
Sharon.
SHARRONMCGEE. I am a long-term citizen of Harvey as well. My family purchased their home in 1965, seems like with Mr. Poole, so we've been there for 50-something odd years too. And the last time I was here, I did feel a little bit disregarded because you said that this project makes you happy and that you guys voted on it. I want to make it aware that a lot of this probably happened during COVID and Zoom meetings. Ms. Steele, we don't know what this building looks like or this project looks like. Nobody's released pictures. What does it look like? How can this project be the best for me if I don't even know what it looks like? I live there, so it's not of my concern that you guys think it's good. Do I think it's good?
Right.
I don't think it's good for you to put a hole that close to our babies. It's babies
Right.
that go to that school right there. And then what does it look, that's my greatest thing. What does it look like? You guys are just ramming and moving forward. Last time I was here, you paid $147,000 for a house. It's not worth it. Do you know what that's gonna do? It's gonna raise my taxes up. My taxes went from $621 last year to $2,600 come August. That's what I have to pay out of pocket. My mortgage paid it. Now I have to pay it back. You guys got a raise. Everybody got a raise but me. This hole in the ground is not good for us, and we're gonna come and tell you time and time again until you listen to us.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you.
Everything, I don't get no info. I think my greatest concern is that anything I have to get, it has to be for you with Clark. There is getting no information on this. He hasn't had meetings with the surrounding public because I don't know about it. We don't know about it, and here you guys are overpaying for properties and blah, blah, blah. All this is gonna fall back on me because I live there right now. So I know for sure that when Fix KB comes back around and reassesses these taxes and stuff, it's gonna fall back on me again. What percent of increase is it to go from $600 to $2,600 in 6 months? You wanna know why the sewage probably don't flow? There's a drain in the front of my house. I have lived there, owned it for 7 years, been in the family's fault. It's 2/3 filled. I have called that man 2 times to come and plunge the drain. He ain't even came to do that. But he coming to y'all telling that we need flood relief? No. Chris Clark just arrested a sitting alder person the other day.
That's
and
right.
then had to transport her over to the next city because he don't even have a habitable jail over there. No.
Right.
No, y'all have to make it make sense to me. We are all adults. You guys are spending my money. This hole is not good. I'm gonna say it over and over again. I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell you again, Miss Steele. Y'all gotta make it make sense to me. What 200 properties are y'all saving too? That's another thing that I want to know that I probably got for you. There's no releasing information. It's just FOIA and bureaucratic red tape, and nobody's helping. And we're saying no, and you guys just going. I'm not going to be steamrolled on this because I'm paying attention because my taxes went up by so much, so I'm paying attention now. I will not be steamrolled. We don't want that hole that close to that school. And I'll be back in 2 weeks to tell you the exact same thing, my love.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Sharon, McGee, and we appreciate your participation as well. For anyone that makes a public comment, I run my meeting where I try to not have public comments turn into a back and forth. But we are listening to you. We're all taking notes. We, after the meetings, go to staff and get answers to your requests. And after hearing all of these, there will probably be additional meetings, but I need you to understand this is, the meetings will have to be with your city officials. We will be there, we will support them, but a lot of the answers that you want should come from the city of Harvey and your local elected officials. But we'll talk more about that later. We do hear you, we take notes, and we are asking the questions and getting the answers for the questions that you have. Our next public comment or public speaker is Carl Mobley. And if I mispronounce your name, just clearly state your name when you step to the microphone. If you can clearly state your name, spell your name, state your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Honorable Chair. You actually said it pretty much almost right today. So it's Carl Malkut. If you're familiar with Hebrew, that's a het. And I'm an activist and organizer that has come to help in the Southland, especially Harvey. I had prepared comments this morning, but something happened. A disease impacting the North Shore. The Southland. A political aide messaged me, not anyone in this room, but messaged me some threatening words, some very harmful comments to strong-arm me as a person of Evanston, coming in, listening to Harvey residents, and fighting for greater equity within Harvey and for others.
Right.
Yesterday, Christopher Clark had Colby Chapman, his own alderman, arrested. Today you're telling those members of Harvey that they need to reach out to their
Right.
city.
Thank you. Come on.
That city government is not there for them.
Right.
all.
That disease, that machine is impacting the Southland. As I said my last time here, there's a lot of news about Tiffany Hinyard, but there's a few others that are at play.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely that political aide who messaged me this morning, something that my North Shore sensibilities, I've only heard as a rumor, happened on the Southland.
Mm-hmm.
My challenge for you all is, we need a new song in Chicago. We had a historical hiccup with COVID-19. It exposed so many bad and wrong things within our society. Yet, almost in our collective trauma, we've come back to this idea that we have to keep things the same way. But as a person who, for the last year of my life, listened to people dealing with genocide in Uganda, I would say to you, I think you are in a position, Honorable Chair, and many of you commissioners, to sing a new song, to say that something can be right. And I want to extend the opportunity for you to meet some of these Ugandans that I have met. But they're also aware of what's going on in Harvey, as they're hidden in their homes, barricaded because they are under a tyrant who doesn't respect them for who they are, just like Christopher Clark.
Mm-hmm.
The choice is yours. And there may be bureaucracy and legalities, but you can choose the right now for these
Right.
people, for this family.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be. Choose the different. Sing the song, and many of you would get elected to many of the offices that you want to, as this is your stepping stone. Thank you.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, and we appreciate your participation in today's meeting.
Good
Our
job.
next speaker is Jessica Jackson.
Thank you.
Jessica Jackson, if you can step to the microphone and clearly state your name and spell your name, state your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Morning. My name is Jessica Jackson, Jessica Jackson. Okay? And I'm here, and you know who I am, because I see you at that public board commissioners meeting all the time, so you know exactly who I am. And you know exactly what my issue is as it pertains to the city of Chicago and Cook County stealing black people's property. Now, I'm here in support of the Harvey community because I learned that you all are trying to move them out. Just like the probate process is used to take black people's property. Now, I've come to City Hall over and over again, and I've come to the Cook County Commissioner meetings over and over again. I've come to PCB meetings where you're at over and over again. And no one seems to be able to deal with the fact that the probate process is stealing black people's property. Now, it's not an unknown, because everybody that you speak to about it, all organizations, all city officials, all Cook County officials, everybody's response is, yeah, I know, it's been going on for a long time. Yeah, you know how Cook County is. Yeah, you know how Chicago is. So it's not something that's unheard of. What it is a situation that Cook County doesn't want to do anything about. And the reason why they don't want to do anything about it is because, like in my situation, the judges are white, the public administrators are white, the hired state attorneys are white. So all your black officials like yourself, Tony Preckwinkle, Timothy Evans, Kwame Raoul, all of you all want to sit and allow this to happen to black people and have it, you all be the face of it, so it can take away the discrimination piece. That we all know is the underlying issue as to why it is that Cook County and the city of Chicago are so comfortable with stealing black people's property. Now, my family's building has been in our family for 61 years. And when my mother died, she had a full-fledged will, no question there. Every dime was paid for. That building has been paid for since I was a teenager. She didn't owe anybody not one red cent, not a credit card, not a medical bill, nothing to the state. No medical bills, no credit cards, no nothing. But Cook County, by way of a crooked hired state attorney, David Feldman, they just want the property. So for 8 years, I've been going through the probate process because public administration got their hooks in it and won't let it go. They got tenants squatting on me because they trying to give me a financial hardship so that Cook County can take it through Ichi.
Thank you. We
Okay, yeah,
appreciate
you're
your
welcome,
comment.
and I hope that you tell your people to tend to it because you know all about it, okay? Thank you.
We appreciate your
Yeah, I know.
participation. Our next speaker is Zoe Lay. Zoe Lay, if you could please step to the microphone, clearly state your name and spell your name, state your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioner Steele and the rest of the commissioners. Zoe, Z-O-E, last name is Lee, L-E-I-G-H. I came here 2 weeks ago, Commissioner Steele, explaining to you that it is an overall housing crisis in Cook County, in the city of Chicago. You know what my family's dealing with. The city unlawfully demolished my family's building. That's been in our family since 1965, 7954, 7958 South Halsted, which was the old Sandpiper's Lounge. We had a trust. We had everything that you're supposed to have to be protected. It is an overall crisis and the theft of properties being stolen in our communities because there are in TIF districts. These are in blighted areas. Areas are predominantly in black communities. And so this is why our properties, paid off properties, are being taken. And they're being taken because there's so much money. And that's what realtors do. That's what these developers do. And that's what BlackRock is doing. Y'all are doing exactly what BlackRock is doing. Y'all are just doing it in small markets. That's the only reason. Y'all have Kwame Raoul's phone number in y'all phone. Text him, call him. You got 3 different people here. We don't know each other. You know how many other people it is? It's just 3. This is a problem. This is not a coincidence. This is a problem. This is a cycle that's been going on. It's been going on for a very long time. It just happens now that it's social media. I know how to use social media. Other people know how to use social media. My mother's 75 years old. Her eyes deteriorate. I have a godfather who's 80. We out here waiting for the federal judge to finally grant us our victory. And it's going to be kind of crazy because when it happens, it's going to be a floodgate. But you know how many other people they have stolen from? I'm a fighter. And I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm not going to stop fighting for black people. I'm definitely not going to stop fighting for my seniors, especially when they can't use social media. So right. I believe in you, Commissioner Steele. I rock with you, Commissioner Steele. I have much respect for you, Commissioner Steele, and your husband. I want you to reach out to Kwame Raoul, the Attorney General, and Governor Pritzker, and have them sit down with us or look into this, because this is a problem. You about to let an 89-year-old man be forced out, and you tell me that it's not eminent domain when it is? I know what eminent domain is. That's what I'm dealing with.
Tell it.
Thank you for your participation and for your comment, Zoe Lee. Our next speaker is Ryan Ryan Sinwelski, and if you please step to the microphone, clearly state your name and spell your name, state your affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Sinwelski. That's R-Y-A-N, S as in Sam, I-N as in Nancy, W-E-L-S-K-I. I'm a Harvey resident and with the Harvey Historical Society. I wanted to respond to some of the comments from the last MWRD meeting. We were told residents are happy and that we should speak with the mayor if we don't want the retention pond. I do have to remind the commissioners that the only public meeting ever held on this project, as far as, where everyone was invited, was last year on September 7th, and the city of Harvey was found in violation of the Open Meetings Act because armed police turned away anyone without a Harvey driver's license. So it actually wasn't really a public meeting. So please beware of that, and please don't tell us again that we haven't even had one proper public meeting on this. If you want to check out the video link on the Harvey Historical Society Facebook page, please do. You can see the meeting host appears inebriated. He laughs like he's hosting a game show. I kid you not. The mayor shouts over elderly complaining residents, and then he walks out in a huff while public commenters are still lined up to speak at the microphone because he doesn't want to listen to the public anymore. This is all on video. Please watch that. How is this sympathy for residents? How is this democracy? Elderly residents on Myrtle said they didn't want to fight the project any longer only because they're too concerned the stress will cause them to have a heart attack or stroke or even die. Eminent domain is not being used, we were told last time. But residents know if they don't sell that eminent domain is the axe hanging over their heads ready to fall. How is any of this happy? How about this? Instead of a $5 million grant to make a pond where 209 homes are maybe protected, let's do a $5 million grant for sewer backflow valves at about $4,000 each so that almost 1,250 homes have guaranteed protection from sewer backup. By the way, that's the real problem residents want solved from the MWRD. Doesn't that make more sense? Why will you not respond to these reasonable alternatives? Harvey requested help, we were told. That's true. The city of Harvey requested help for flooding in the area of 148th and Wood Street. This is completely and totally outside of the area this retention pond would benefit. So again, why does the MWRD keep pushing this pond on us? Federal officials are saying this is bad science. Residents and almost 1,300 petition signers are saying they're scared and angry and unhappy, and the whole world can see Mayor Clark doesn't listen to his residents. But you still keep pushing this pond. Why? Even FEMA, that we are actively in communication with, and they approved the money for this, says the federal funding is not approved, and you should not be doing any property acquisition at all yet. What is going on at the MWRD? Several of you are up for re-election in a few weeks. Are you trying to make people think this project is about kickbacks or contracts for your buddies? If that's your goal, then you're doing great. The alphabet guys, as you guys call them, are hot on the tail of Mayor Clark. And I highly recommend you don't get caught up in this horrible Central Park idea of his unless you want to endanger your future political career. Is this project and all the pain it's causing really worth it to you? If not, then I suggest you meet with us, make the time to meet with us after this meeting and change this project. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Diane Gallant. If you can please step to the microphone, clearly state your name and spell your name, state your affiliation, and you have the board. Welcome.
Thank you for giving me this time. My name is Diane Galante. It's Galante, and I'm a concerned citizen. The only reason I'm here, I had to attend a meeting in Harvey because the mayor of Harvey is the Calumet City FOIA coordinator, and he was denying my FOIAs. I was FOIAing from trying to get invoices, and he was denying the FOIA, so I decided to go to a meeting. During this meeting, you should be aware of how the residents are being treated. I don't know how many trips you guys have made to Harvey. I assume you went and met and sat with these individuals. I assume you sat at their tables and spoke with them before you decided to tear down the homes.
No.
I assume a lot of that was done. I want to make you aware the citizens, the taxpayers are not being heard in Calumet City. I witnessed an individual be removed because he decided to video from a different place. And I don't know these rules. I'm pretty sure we can videotape from anywhere in a public meeting. But unless there's something written, you shouldn't be able to remove somebody so aggressively. I hope that you listen. I'm a citizen of Tinley Park. Nothing to do with this. I went there and attended a meeting and I saw what is going on. Please, go and attend these meetings. Please speak up for these people. They are not being heard by their council. I understand what you believe is going on, that we have good people in these, I'm not even gonna say that. We have individuals in positions that aren't really working for the people, and you need to see that. You are spending a huge amount of money, and I'm certainly gonna go back and look at this meeting. You have to know the meetings are going to take place. Please do not move forward until you go verify for yourselves. You're working for the people. They need you.
Thank you. Thank you, Becky. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, and we appreciate you attending the meeting. For all of our public speakers, we truly appreciate your input, your comments, and your questions. We will continue to communicate to the local elected officials in Harvey. I see you. We will continue to communicate with the local elected officials in Harvey. We will continue to communicate with our relocation specialists and staff, and we will continue to get answers to address your concerns. I have your questions, and we will receive you will receive your responses. And for my comment to the Poole family, without addressing anything involving the negotiations, because about negotiations going on with your family and other parties, I am available to talk to you, to hear your concerns. And we at the Water Reclamation, I think I can speak for myself and for the commissioners when I say we got into this situation with the Stormwater Management Project to assist a community that asked us for help. Your mayor and your local elected officials asked us to help them with the Stormwater Management Project and with the stormwater management concerns to address urban flooding. We also were fully aware that not just the mayor, but the local elected officials voted on the project and approved the project before we moved forward with giving them suggestions for the project. So there is some miscommunication going on, some things we have to talk about, but we do want all families to be happy. We want you to be happy. We definitely want to see you made whole or better than whole, and we don't want you to be unhappy, because we honestly do care about the citizens of Harvey, the families in Harvey. Even if you all seem to believe, the ones sitting here today, that we do not care about your well-being, we do care about the well-being of the citizens of Harvey. I am going to, because so many people spoke on this issue today, and I do see at least one commissioner that has raised her hand to make a comment, I will allow commissioners to make a comment. But I want to be clear that this is going outside of the norm. I don't do back and forth during public comment sessions. So this is unusual, but I did see Commissioner Sparopoulos raised her hand. Commissioner Sparopoulos, would you like to make a comment?
Thank you, Madam President. To the residents that have come out today to speak, I think we've heard you loud and clear. Our intention, as the President said, is to help a community, but there's clearly questions and concerns that are still out there. And since a person's home is their castle, and it is very difficult to to move out of that home, especially since there's a great deal of history, in many of these residences, I would recommend that we have another community meeting to hear those concerns, for people to be heard, rather than just coming down here. And we certainly want to have a good relationship with the communities that we serve. So I think those communities.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Thank you, Madam President. I want the residents of Harvey to know that we hear you. Thank you for coming down here, because this is what democracy is. And I affirm the pain in what transition means, in what loss means, and I do believe in the importance of community input. And I want you to know that this is something that we as commissioners, that we do take this very seriously. I spoke before because I sit in this seat, and I do believe that Black and brown people for far too long have disproportionately not felt the effects of stormwater infrastructure. And I think we see that in the Southland, we see that on the west side of Chicago, and I think that the commissioners on this board, and I'll speak for myself as well, I think we want to find a solution. We want to address the disparities. As a Black woman of color, I understand what a home particularly means. As I was raised in foster care. I deeply understand what finding home means. I was raised by my grandfather. I understand my grandfather worked very hard to have the home that he has. But I want you to know that we care about the future of your community. We care about preserving those homes. And so I want you to know that we're also a partner in this. I don't want you to see the 9 commissioners who are on this board, and I've said this before, as well as the staff at the district, that we just simply want to take someone's home for the sake of eminent domain. That is false. That is not what we want to do.
Well, that's what you're doing.
We, each of us on this board, care passionately about environmental justice. I will go back to the table, and I will continue asking questions like I said before. I will want to continue that this project is just. Thank you so much for coming, and I will do my part as commissioner, once again, hearing you as residents, seeing how we can, like as President Steele said, how everyone here can be made whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Brady-Davis.
That's not
Commissioner Kari.
Thank you, Madam President, and I just want to also note my appreciation for your permission to allowing us to speak during this time. It is usually public comment is not a back and forth, so we would probably hold these comments till the end, but we don't want to keep the residents here. We have a closed session meeting scheduled, so I really appreciate that. So, you know, I want to speak to the Poole family and also the families that are being displaced, and recognize your loss and honor what you have built. You have built not just a house and wealth. You know, this is how many of us build wealth. My family come from a family of immigrants from Mexico, and my family has been able to build their family wealth through real estate property. And so I want to recognize that and honor that there is loss in that. I want to recognize that you built a home, not just a house, and that you build memories with your families, and that you build memories with your community. And it is so evident to me how much you've done that, because aside from the people that have come today, a few others have come out continuously, several times, all the way downtown, and Harvey's not close. I want to recognize that a room full bigger than this came to the only public meeting that we were a part of, And I thank you for letting me know that it wasn't an Open Meetings Act violation, because I do remember thinking it was really strange that IDs were being requested. That's not okay. I want to note that as a county-wide government agency, we really rely on our partnerships with the local units of government. And that has its challenges. We rely on the local units of government to really be the first line of, one, communicating with their residents, and communicating with the residents what the needs are, and communicating with the residents on how the information is going to be distributed. And I think there might be some concerns as to how that happened. I want to,
of course, yes,
recognize that. I'm not sure where the communication went wrong, but there seems to be some lack of communication based on, there's information that in the public meeting that I attended and several of the commissioners attended that was shared on, what the project would look like, what the project was going to do. What I took from that particular meeting was that the residents as a whole were very concerned for those that were being displaced. And that's something that I don't think any of us take lightly. It's very difficult to make decisions where people are going to be displaced. Do not think that for a minute, several of us, because I've had conversations on this issue with every single commissioner throughout the last year since you guys brought it to our attention. Every single commissioner, not a single person that sits on this aisle, and Madam President, I personally have had conversations with them repeatedly. And I know that our ears and our hearts are to trying to figure out what can be done. I cannot, in recognizing and honoring your loss, Mr. Poole, I cannot make a promise that there's something that we'll be able to do to make you whole in losing the space where you raised your children and build a life with your wife. Especially after losing both your son and your wife not too long ago. I have seen my mother and her children mourn the loss of her husband, and I know how difficult it is. I haven't experienced it myself yet. And I can only imagine how difficult it must be to have something taken from you, a space taken from you, when you're still in mourning. I don't think I can promise that there's anything we can do to make you whole in that regard.
Sure, don't take the house.
And I'm sorry for that. I truly, truly am. And I don't know if this is a PC thing to say as an elected official, but I am sorry that we can't make you whole in that regard.
But they make an immigrants whole.
Now, when it comes to the negotiation process, I hope that you are able to move forward with the relocation specialists in good faith and have those conversations with them as to how you can be made whole on the wealth that you built and the relocation to a home that fits your needs. That is something that I think we can respect, that we can honor.
That's horrible.
I really appreciate Commissioner Sparopoulos' offer to have another public meeting. I think it would be a good idea to have smaller round tables so that everyone can ask questions, because it was really difficult to communicate in a very large setting, and we had the engineers explaining things, but it was some things are challenging, they're technical even for me to try to figure out, okay. But when I had those opportunities to speak one-on-one with residents, it was clear what the project's intention was and how it came out to be. So, I think there's a lot of learning lessons from this project, and I do want to honor and recognize your loss, Mr. Poole. It does not leave any single one of us feeling that it's a hard decision. So thank you for coming out today, and thank you for the continued support that you'll have
from your fellow residents. Thank you, Commissioner Corral-Sepulveda. Everyone be careful to not address the negotiation process. Commissioner Brown.
Thank you, Madam President. I too just wanted to speak to the family, the Poole family, and the other residents in the Southland. As a resident in the Southland, I want you to know that, I hear your concerns and I definitely take them seriously. But I also want to highlight the devastation of the flooding that we experience in the Southland. For many, many years, there are certain communities in the Southland that have not received any resources at all. And the flooding just continues in homes that people have built. They put their life savings in only to be devastated by flooding. So I just want to highlight that the members of this board, in partnering with the city of Harvey, it was an effort to change the narrative. It was an effort to address the flooding issues that we see in the Southland. So it was never the intention to take someone from their home. So I just want you all to know that it was done with good intentions to make a difference in the Southland. And that's one of the things that I've been very proud of with this board is the level of resources that we are now seeing in the Southland. But I also want you to know that we do not take it lightly to see an 89-year-old man come here after building his life in a home and that is taken away. So I just want to second the comments by Commissioner Sparopoulos that I would also like to see not only just giving you lip service and saying that you're being heard, but also doing something about it so that we can ensure that your voices are actually being heard. So I second that, and I just didn't want to not speak up for the Southland. It's where I come from, it's where I live, and I know the city very well, I know the leadership very well, and that's why I want to second the comments that I would like to the residents of Harvey to be heard.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Yumika Brown. We appreciate your comment. Commissioners, do you have an additional comment? All right, as stated, I did feel it was important for everyone's voice to be heard. The Board of Commissioners will be in touch with the City of Harvey. We appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate you expressing your concerns, and we thank you, truly thank all of you for your participation today in our board meeting. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
now, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Right now, I'll call on each commissioner individually to tell me what items you would like to be pulled for discussion. I would also like to recognize that Chairman Garcia is present. Into more business and start with Commissioner Brady-Davis. Commissioner Brady-Davis, do you have any items you would like to be pulled for discussion?
Yes, Madam President. Item 5 and item 7.
Thank you. Item 5 and item 7. Commissioner Brown, do you have any items you would like to be pulled for discussion?
Not today, Madam President.
I gotta go back on the Sure.
Thank you.
Monday, listen, they took the time to actually listen, that's a good sign.
Yesterday, I believe.
And they really do need to go to these meetings to see what goes on in our house.
Right, I was gonna say, we actually need to have a change, so. Thank you, Mr. Poole, for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it just goes on and this is happening everywhere. People are afraid that we'll see what happens.
Much better from the last meeting. So I want to commend you for that. My name is Carl Malchut, Karlmalchut. I just want to piggyback off what Ryan said. You all brought up a lot of good options for the people of Harvey. And I think given that in 7 years, you haven't had a discussion so open like that and gave such beautiful words, and some of you even crying, I would commit to the round table or to open community dialogue. I would commit to it. These people are asking you. And I'm a person from, as I said in the last meeting, one of the most affluent suburbs in the whole county, attracted and inspired by the Poole single family and the other people of the Southland who are rising up. And as Ryan said, you know, they're coming for Clark, but there's also this movement arising of people that are standing up on the Southland. And some of us from the North Shore are mixing with a lot of organizing and activism experience. That will hurt you at an election, knowing that that momentum is there and being affiliated with this guy. Do you want to sacrifice that? Because I know I will be building, and I have already made an impression on all of you. I know it. So I would either be afraid or I would commit. Like I said, the choice is in your hands. And you have a beautiful choice in your hands. Do it. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
We appreciate your participation. Madam Clerk, will you read the motion to adjourn?
I move that when the board adjourns, it adjourns to meet again on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, 10:30 a.m. and also move that today's meeting be adjourned.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Brady-Davis, second by Vice President Flynn. Roll call.
Commissioner Brady-Davis, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Davis, Vice President Flynn, Chairman Garcia, Commissioner Pogoszelski, Commissioner Podesta-Boldedown, Commissioner Sporopoulos, and Madam President.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays, Madam President.
So ordered, the regular board meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a great, productive day. Thank you.
I did send an email to all the commissioners last night. I just wanted to share a little bit with you and for public record. I just said, in case you haven't read them, I want to forward to you the comments that we sent to FEMA, including the recommendations from those familiar with federal climate guidelines related to the proposed pond in Harvey. The clear consensus among flooding experts is that this retention pond is not needed and is an inappropriate solution for Harvey's problems. Several green, affordable alternatives are discussed, including providing subsidies for installing sewer backflow valves in buildings to stop sewer overflow, which is the actual complaint of Harvey residents regarding flooding. So again, we're not here to, be against the MWRD. We love the idea of flood relief, but it should not be endangering any residents' homes at all. Several area communities, including South Holland and Calumet City, already offer rebate programs for residents who install sewer backflow valves, overhead sewers, drain tile, sump pumps, and other flood relief mechanisms. So we would strongly consider you to encourage you to consider that alternative. What we did, I know we've heard from some of you supporting comments, apologizing. That unfortunately doesn't really help. We want the MWRD to commit to an alternative that does not displace residents and does not endanger these historic buildings. We're asking for a clear commitment there. It's easy. So it should be something that's doable. We just want to avoid that, or want to remind you though that we're going to continue to point out the connections between this project and the severe civil rights violations that Mayor Clark is committing. Remember, this is his Central Park project. Please, even if it's just for self-preservation, I hope you care about the Harvey residents, but it doesn't do us any good if you apologize. But what would do us good, even if you just do it for your own career, like I said, the Tiffany Henyard allies that were flying high a few years ago, they can't get jobs. You all probably want to move up. We know how the political game works. If you are tied to this, Clark is going down. Do not be mistaken. They will be coming for you. And he's very happy to have you come. Just ask Eric Kellogg, our former mayor, who's one of the most corrupt in Illinois. He's not in jail. Guess who is in jail? His cousins, brother. He has a lot of people around him. So I'm just telling you, if nothing else, do it for preservation, for self-preservation. There's so many ways we can do this. Do it right by the citizens of Harvey, and also, making sure everybody's happy and doing things by the book. So again, we want to work with you. We want things to be done correctly, and this mayor does not do anything correctly. He arrests people that don't agree with him. So thank you so much. Look forward to speaking with you soon.